rocket like rocket fuel.
Yeah. 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 Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Rodgers now on first down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. He rifles one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
So after the INT, it's Brady. Flushed out right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, watch number 33.
To throw again, Brady. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end, you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch time, watch time. Tight end right, tight end right. Hey, hey! We got three down.
On second down, it's Moss, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down.
Tight right. We got four.
72.
From the gun, it's Brady. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
So into Packer territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Check 24. Watch 24.
Shotgun now for Brady. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So first and 10 now from the 30.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Now a give right side. Moss. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Throwing is Brady on third down. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Check. Lucky. Mike, phone.
Second reload.
Here's Johnson. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on first down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage with the big man setting the tone physically.
On 2nd down and 4. Brady, no gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Here's Brady to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. They'll run on first down. It's Moss. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
51's the mark. 51's the mark. Hey, 88.
To throw is Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. 7 yards there and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Blue 58. Oh, you got Jeff.
On first down, Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Rodgers on the money to the tight end, Graham. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Here we go. 26. Hey, Steve 6.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
35-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Let's put that team on the front. Hey, 626.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Jones has it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 16.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Check safety, check safety. Hey, switch gears.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
258. Hey, come on now, come on now. 49, check 49.
Now Jones. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try the right side with Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have taken the lead. They were able to stop him at the line on 1st down, but this time he punches his way through.
And sometimes just because you're stopped on the first run, it doesn't mean the play call was bad or incorrect. You might just need better execution and just a tad more determination. And they got it done on the 2nd try.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Watch one. Watch one. Let's go, defense.
Now Brady. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Now Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back.
Push him back. Push him back.
To throw, it's Rodgers. He's going to air one out. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. 2 minutes to play in his first half. 7-3 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through.
And Brady going to be intercepted a third time. Adrian Amos with a pick.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On second down, it's Jones. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Operating from the gun, Brady. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. He's picked off near his own 48, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they... will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Extra point try now for Crosby. And it's 21-3.
Makes the score Packers 21, Lions 3.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. And an alley to run. And into the end zone, it's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown.
From what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick-6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Zadarius Smith. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
No. 40 got.
The final shot before the break. Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 7 yards there and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big. I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On 2nd and inches, Stafford, he finds his man Johnson. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Stafford down 3 out of 5 since taking over as he's given his guys a first down. Stafford. And the catch made by Johnson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. Stafford on first down. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Rodgers now on first down. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. He's picked off near his own 48, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and show. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Kenny Clark make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the third time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who are getting 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 33-yard line.
258. Hey, 88. Hey, Charlie.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Number 50. Hey, you block over here.
Squeeze. Keep it up, defense.
26.
Switch.
Rodgers now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Will Harris. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at the 19-yard line.
You got 30.
After the interception, here's Stanford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Y'all playing the wrong football.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. And he rifles one incomplete.
You don't want to throw away this excellent field position, but that's 2 incomplete passes in a row. Definitely need something big here on 3rd and 10.
Conversely, defense has done a good job on 1st and 2nd down. The coverage has been draped. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Stafford. Johnson's got it complete. And they're going to get him down shy of the 1st at about the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing.
And my goodness, another interception. Christian Jones, the one who picked it. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10.
Lady!
The 41-yard line.
Here we go. All day. Defense all day. All day.
On first down, Stafford here. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. To throw is Stafford. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Jones, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Packers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Rodgers. They've got his man complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Packers. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there. You don't deserve anything for that.
But you get...
And now here is another interception. Kevin King with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, then, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. And they try to sweep to Jones. And an alley to run. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On first down, Rodgers. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. That's going to be caught. And he's going to take it in.